I guess on my hair, she looked all right, and with that actually sitting there like this creams, and I had to have them, sis. All 5 of them. Here, I just had, we're gonna discontinue it, but I had to pick up their book of shadows, honey. Color grade makes cheap fan, expensive breeze, good times. Wow, so serious. Looks like we're recording. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Torrence here, and in today's video I just wanted to give you all an update on why I haven't recorded in over 2 weeks. It's a mixture of things, a mixture of stress and just inconvenience, but the biggest one is the inconvenience because once again my basement flooded, and it seemed like I had just barely got past the last flood. How can I put it? I remember the last time I told y'all about it, and when I went down there, almost everything in the basement had to be tossed out. And one of the few items I managed to save was a small camcorder. I actually have that downstairs because I've been playing with it. It's my old camcorder, either from high school or right when I graduated from high school. It's a Sony camcorder that records in 1080p, but when I tell y'all, it only has a 3 megapixel camera, which lets you know how old it is if a Sony camcorder only has 3 megapixels. But she was my baby back then, and when I cleaned up the basement last time, I really felt grateful that I was able to save something from then. This time it was like, and I don't have, well, I'm not gonna say it. I don't have footage that I want to put up there because I don't want anybody to be disgusted by anything, but I do have a small clip that I can put right here that shows them, you know, getting the last of the water and things out, because for a moment, you could not step foot on my block without being disgusted, because I believe it was the sewage system that backed up. So you could look down in the basement, but you surely did not want to go down there because you could see things like tissue and stuff floating on the floor. So it's like, I'm not putting my shoe down on there and then got to come back. Oh no, not back upstairs. So with the weather for the past few weeks, easily going past 80, most days going past 90 degrees, the smell of raw sewage plus heat was too much to bear, honey. There was no way to stay here. Although I had content I wanted to post and get up, when I grabbed my stuff, it was grabbing mostly a few change of clothes, grabbing things like skincare, stuff like that, my pain meds, and we got to go, honey. I wasn't worried about what I left behind because I knew for sure that smell was kicking me out. And that was something that was depressing because I've already been struggling with my ankle. You all know I broke my ankle last May. And so I spent all last summer at my mom's house, basically handicapping in bed, just sitting back, waiting on things to heal. And all I kept telling myself is, we down this year, but next year gonna be my year. We're gonna be up, we're gonna be out, we're gonna have ourselves a good time. It's Pride Month and I have not done anything. I haven't been to one party, I haven't been to one club, I haven't been to one march. I haven't done my makeup for a party, done anybody else's makeup for a party, anything, because it's unpredictable. I never know when things are going to be good. I could be okay right now and literally 5 minutes from now, my ankle can triple up in size with swelling. And it's nothing I can do about it but sit back and try my hardest not to cry after pain gets that bad. And although I have been offered payments from the insurance company, the problem with that is I find most payments to either be so weak they do nothing or so strong that they make me drowsy. And it's like, I can't be at work under the influence of payments. I can't drive under the influence of them. And I can no longer freelance because that involves being able to stand at least a minimum of an hour at a time when you're doing someone's makeup. And that doesn't include the time it takes to grab everything, set everything up, and then clean up afterwards. So with me, one, not knowing what my physical abilities are going to be like, I just chose not to take in clients, which means if I'm not taking clients, I no longer have the income from that. And with me being injured on the job because of my ankle, I no longer have the ability to, one, work all the hours I did, or two, work all the positions that I did. So my income from my job, although I'm still receiving it, it's not nearly what it used to be. So I figured it would just be something as small as, okay, Torrence, since you're not doing makeup, you just don't have your makeup budget anymore. And at first, that was something where it was like, okay, you went from an unlimited budget because you could write things off on your taxes, taking it down to $175 a month. But with the cost of everything going up, like everything going up, I don't even have the $175 no more. But it's like, okay, I guess for me, not having a makeup budget, it sounds crazy, but when you try to sit back and you try to look at how your life is as a whole, I had to remind myself of how blessed I am, because it's like, you're upset that you can't bring in new items, not understanding you have hundreds of older items in your collection. Right now, get a closer view of y'all. Look at this eyeshadow look. She is gorgeous. She's gorgeous, and I'm gonna try to have, well, I should have this up on Tuesday. There's no reason I shouldn't. But to know, this is the House of L palette by Adept Cosmetics. It's available right now, and I believe they brought it out, it sold out, and they restocked it, but they let it be known, this is the very last restock that they're gonna do, and I never got a chance to even put up a tutorial for it because I wasn't home. I didn't have the option to, but it's like, you mad that you don't have the money to buy a new palette that they got coming out. I believe they're reformulating the Amunet palette. I have the older version called Amunet New, and I had to think about it, Torrence. You stressing yourself out because you don't got the money to buy the new palette when you haven't used this one, which is their newest palette that's available. But not only that, you haven't used the Amunet New, which was the original formula. You mad you can't get out into the world and swipe, swipe, swipe when the things that you have you aren't truly loving and appreciating. So it's like, okay, take a step back, step outside of your privilege, honey, and really sit down and look at the things you have and try to figure out what's really stressing you out. And I think it's not only just not being able to get the new makeup I want, it's the fact that makeup as a whole for me has changed. At one point in time, it didn't matter. My family could tell you, I could go to my normal job, put in a double, come home, be exhausted, and still do a full face of makeup on myself or somebody else, or wake up early and do it for somebody else, because I knew every day I wanted to play in makeup, and every day I might want something new because every day something new may be coming out. And I always figured hard work would always allow me to have the things that I want. I would never have to depend on anybody else as long as I get out there and try to do it for myself. And now that I'm injured and physically can't do it for myself, it stresses me out to know that makeup was not only a source of income, it was also a hobby that I genuinely loved doing. Whether I was being paid or doing it for free, whether I'm at a wedding working or just sitting at home with my sister just trying out lip glosses, it was always fun. And it seems like I don't get the same joy from makeup because I don't have the same abilities that I do. I can't just wake up one morning and tell my neighbor, you know what, let's play makeup today, and just show up at her house with everything in hand. First, it takes time to grab everything that you need to do somebody else's makeup, put it all together, get into your train case, and carry it somewhere else. I don't have the ability to do any of that anymore. So most times when people see me with makeup, 99% of the time, it's because I did a tutorial for YouTube, because I have everything sitting right here. I have a table here, I have a tray right here, a push cart with some other items. So if I want to do my makeup, the only time I physically have to get up is, let's say if it's something that I wanted to try out new. I keep a foundation right here, so if I wanted to use that, I have that. I have a second backup right here, but I know for sure I have at least 20 other foundations on the shelf right here where I can just scoop my chair over there instead of walking back and forth. Same thing with a lot of other things, but with my place being flooded and me having to wait, I didn't even have the option to stay home and play in my collection. So for 2 weeks, I was basically in a bad mood because I'm looking at it as, it's Pride Month, you can't get out in the streets and have a gay old time like you want to. You have a job, but because you have restrictions, your job has restricted your hours and your income, so now it truly only takes care of the necessities. Rent is paid, utilities is paid, car note, phone, all of that is paid. But if for some reason I was just to wake up and say, you know what, Torrence? What's a good one? Wayne Goss, this brush here, I don't know exactly how much it is, but if Wayne Goss was to post this natural hair brush, which I believe is probably at least $40 to $70, and was to say, you know what, we're having these on sale for $10, come and get you one, I would be sitting back going, I use this brush every day. I love this brush. It's truly worth its money. But to have to spend that $10 to get another one, I never thought I would be in a position where I had to sit back and debate on something like that. Because I really have to look at every dime that I'm spending, and I have to keep on holding on to the fact that, Torrence, you are on a no-buy because shit has gotten real. The cost of gas is through the roof. Last time I went and filled my tank up, I know it was, I think, about $106, and gas has gone up since then. So I'm scared to see how much it's going to cost to fill her up next time. Groceries then went straight up, and a lot of times, even the groceries that I do want to grab, half the time ain't even in stock. It used to be okay to say, okay, I'm going to this store and get this, and then if they don't have it, I can go to that store. But I don't have the ability to get up and walk around 2-3 grocery stores. When I pull up, I'm getting in the handicap spot, I'm sitting in the front, and I'm waiting on a wheelchair because I need that electric chair to get through the stores, to get the items I want. And the time and chances of you going to 2 or 3 different stores and they all have a chair for you, most times you get there and the chairs aren't even charged, so you sitting there waiting anyway. So it's like I go to one store, get what I can, and if I can't, I'm going to have to wait till I probably go to physical therapy or something else to try to do everything in one route, because I can't get up every day and just go to this place, get up, go to there, get up and do this. The amount of money it costs for gas just to do work and physical therapy is eating my pockets alive, sis. And it's pissing me off because when I sit there and look at how much it's costing, it's like, do you know what I used to be able to do with that kind of money before? And so it's depressing as hell to sit back and go, right now, baby, I am looking and feeling cute. I am enjoying this. But the only thing I keep looking in this and keep saying to myself is, I don't know how I messed that up. I was about to say, the only thing I keep looking in the screen and telling myself is that, one, she cute, but you ain't doing no makeup tomorrow. And it's not because I don't want to. It's because I physically will not have the strength to. I still have to find the strength to get all of this taken off, which is easiest if you just hop in the shower and, you know, go ahead, rinse to get it all off. But then you risk messing your hair up. So you got to take your time, do it on the side of the sink. I have a small, it's not a full wheelchair. It's like one of those standing push chairs where you can stand up and use it as a walker, but you can also sit down in it like a wheelchair. I'm not sure what it's called, but I have one of those, and I have to keep that by the sink because anytime I want to do skincare or just hygienics at all, brushing my teeth and stuff like that, I don't have the strength to sit in front of that sink and do all of that. If I need to wash dishes, if my family or friends don't come over and help, guess who got to do those? But I can't stand there and do it, so I need my chair to do it. And the idea of knowing my makeup look fabulous, but I'm either going to sit right here and just truly disinfect them with my Parian Spirit, which will get the job done for today. But you can only disinfect brushes for so long before you have to go in and soap and water them. And the amount of time and energy it takes to do that, that's going to be the day's job. And that means more than likely waiting for a weekend because I work during the week. My job is usually scheduled Monday through Fridays with mandatory Saturdays whenever they choose. So I can't come home from work on, let's say, like a Wednesday and tell myself, oh, we're going to wash makeup brushes. knowing the next day, Thursday, I got work in physical therapy. I don't want to be I don't want to be exhausted right before a physical therapy session. Even if you go in feeling good with that, you're guaranteed to leave tired and sore, no matter what. No matter how good of a feeling I'm in, no matter how much the swelling goes down, even if you take a pain pill, leaving physical therapy means leaving sore and exhausted every time. And to know that a lot of my energy goes into my health means how much energy and time do I have left just to have fun, just to be relaxed, just to be stress-free. And it upsets me and it scares me to know that at one point in time, life, I would say for me, just seemed predictable. I wouldn't necessarily say that life is something that's predictable, but I always tried to do things where I had a general idea of how things are going to turn out and what to do in case things don't turn out that way. And now I don't know. To know that there is something wrong with our septic system. So I don't know if my complex is going to come back next month and say, okay, we're just going to say Tuesday we got to come in and do this, or we're going to have to, turn it off for this long and we're going to need y'all to move to another building or something like that. I don't have the strength, the time, the money, or the energy to move. I don't have the mental capacity to have my things turned off again in the basement so they can go ahead and drain and flush and do all of that, meaning I need to go somewhere else. Because one, if you're working with that stuff, it stinks. And two, even if, let's say it wasn't stinking, if you come back and you just want to clean the basement, I don't want to hear that power washer, he loud. So I'm going to more than likely go over a family or friend's house, and especially on a day off where I'm trying to do something like get some rest or get a nap. Naps have become one of my favorite things because that is usually one of the few moments in my life that the pain is at its absolute least. Usually if I'm asleep, I feel little to no pain, and I don't mind taking a pain pill because I know even if it makes me drowsy, if I go to sleep, I'm okay. I know for sure there's no way I could take one if I have to drive that day or if I'm headed to work, because that would be considered being out under the influence, and that's just not safe or acceptable. So it's like, Torrence, what do you do then? It seems like I just have to go with the flow, and I don't like that. I'm used to being an adult who's in charge of my life, who's in charge of my decisions, and it seems like I just have to wake up each day, see how things are going, and just put a smile on my face and say, okay, let's do it. If I wake up and tell myself, Torrence, you've used the House of L palette, which is what I'm wearing now, this will be up on Tuesday, go ahead and grab a different palette from Adept Cosmetics and do that tomorrow. My ankle may be sore and say, you know what? Even though you only walking from the bedroom across the hall to your makeup room, I'm going to make things so painful that walk just over there is going to be so bad you're not even going to want to do that. And I'm not going to fight with my body. If I'm in pain, I'm just not going to do it. I may wake up and, decide, okay, Torrence, we're going to sit back and we just going to be good. We're going to take a breather. We're going to rest. We're going to do this. I could get a call from my physical therapist letting me know they're going to be working on the building on this day and we're going to be closed. So either you can come in, later on today for your session, or we're going to have to push this back and do that. And now it's looking like, okay, even though I thought I was going to get some rest time, I'm now being told that's no longer an option. I may have decided, you know what, Torrence, you're going to go to the grocery store and you're going to buy, this many vegetables, this many of this. Get up there and realize either A, that's out of stock, B, the price of that done went up so high that it's no longer in my budget, or C, you get to the grocery store and realize ain't no carts available, so you either going to attempt to try to walk around, which we already know is going to be a fail, or you've wasted gas and now you just have to go home without those items. It seems like no matter what I choose to do, what I try to do, the devil is working hard, honey. He is pushing my buttons. He is trying it. And I'm just trying to keep my head above waters. I'm just trying to keep things positive and tell myself things are not over. This battle has already been won, honey. The Lord is on my side, so we go in, but I would be lying if I say I'm not stressed out every day wondering what's next. Because I don't see me being able to mentally take another hit. The idea of anything else going wrong that's going to hold me back sounds like I'm going to be stressed the fuck out past my point, because, how can I put it? My only source of income, I can't afford to have anything happen to it. Whether it be cut, reduce, pause, anything like that would be drastic for me, because I don't have a husband or a fiance or somebody like that to help me with things. And although I have family, they have their own households to take care of, and I'm no longer a child. So to sit back and expect anyone to do anything for me sounds crazy. My best friend, right now, he's having issues because an asshole drunk driver wasn't paying attention and hit his family. So I'm trying my best to, be emotional and, support for them, because his girl, got into an accident where her ankle was messed up because of that drunk driver. And me sitting back knowing how bad ankle injuries can get, I think I was more stressed out about their injuries than I was, because there was also children in the car. And I'm like, those my god babies you talking about. I know that doctor better come back and say everybody is all right. Because, honey, if you thought you felt bad because you was out here drinking and driving and now you didn't hit my people, imagine how bad you're going to feel if I got to act up because they not okay. And although physically everyone is okay, it's the how do we pick up the pieces from here, because the car isn't. The time that you missed off from work and now you got to pick up the pieces on, okay, well, for most people, missing a week of work is a huge thing. Most of us out here in this world is living paycheck to paycheck. So to miss one means something was missed. A bill was probably missed, a shopping experience was missed, a dinner was missed, something for the kids, but most of us can't afford to lose our income for a week and still be okay, perfectly fine where we were. We usually are counting on every dollar that we make to come back in so that we can get things going. And I'm in a position where it's like, right now, I'm not sure about mine. I'm really not. Things are truly just enough to stay afloat, and it seems like if my basement flood again, I'm gonna be fucked. If I get in a car accident or something like that, I'm gonna be fucked. If I were to slip and fall and hurt my leg again, I'm gonna be fucked. If the price of food or gas keep going up, I'm gonna be fucked. If the pain in my leg, which I don't believe is gonna go down, because arthritis isn't something where it's, oh, take this pill or, do this therapy and you'll be all right. Usually when you're diagnosed with arthritis, that's usually something that's lifelong. And it scares me to think that my leg is only going to continue to get worse and worse. And my ability to take care of myself may become lower and lower, because I'm only 35. The idea of an ankle fusion scares the living hell out of me. And to know that I've only met, I believe so far I've met 2 different people who said they had one. One was young and he says he regretted. He flat out, he told me straight up, he was like, I really wish I could go back in time. He like, if for nothing else, he was like, even if I couldn't take the injury back, I would take away that fusion, because he was like, that was worse than the break itself. And the other person I know who did it was an elderly man in a senior citizen home. So he was saying he had no choice. He was like, he's already had things like hip replacements and stuff like that. So for him, it was a painful operation, but it wasn't the most painful situation he had been in. And I'm sitting back wondering, like, I think most people at one point in time have worried about their future, especially if you're someone with children. You worry about your future and theirs. With me, I'm going to say I always truly believed in the back of my mind that things were going to be okay. Even if it wasn't something where it was one of those moments where I was so stressed out that I'm just praying, Lord, just show me the way, just give me some direction, just give me some way of knowing that I'm going to be okay. I've always felt as if, one, I'm a very intelligent person, I'm young and healthy, and with me not having children or a partner, I always felt as if I would at least have the time even if I didn't have the energy. And now it seems like after this break, I question all of that. I don't question the Lord, but I question myself now more than I ever did, and it seems like that's just constantly building up, and it scares the shit out of me. If I were perfectly healthy when my basement flooded last time, I don't think it would have been nothing for me to try to race against the elements and get down there and try to see what could I have salvaged, even if it meant throwing away the clothes and things that I was wearing because they would have been messed up. But it makes me wonder, would you have been able to save a few movies or a few CDs or a few outfits or something like that? Possibly. Right now, with the price of gas and things going up, it makes me wonder, okay, because that would have just been more in your base prices and you can't do anything about that for going to your normal job. When I was a freelance makeup artist, I was a traveling makeup artist. So the rising cost of gas just meant that wasn't something extra I had to pay. That would have been part of the client's bill. So traveling costs would have just been a higher cost on you, not on me. Now I'm paying for that. When I was freelancing, getting new makeup all the time meant because I'm currently out freelancing, I can write that off on my taxes. So who cares how much it costs? We gonna get it back at the end of the year. I'm not out freelancing no more. I don't have a budget I used to, so ain't no buying no new stuff. And it's just, it really feels like certain days I wake up and I just be telling myself, like, Torrence, is this really your life you living? Because it seems like you live in somebody else's life. It really seems like some days I'm sitting back and just watching the hours go past because I'm like, you've been doing this for over a year and it still doesn't feel real. It really feels as if some days you wake up and you tell yourself, I'm going to be okay. I don't know what happened. I don't care what the doctor said, but this is going to be the day where, I don't know, one day you're not going to have no ankle pain today. This is going to be the day. Since I've broken my ankle, there has not been a single pain-free day. Not a single one. And although I know I'm going to continue to do my best, I'm going to continue to keep trying, I would be lying if I told y'all I'm not scared as hell. That's just what it is. I truly am going to keep going with YouTube because I find YouTube is so much fun. Y'all just don't understand. The idea of knowing I can sit back and just do this and make myself feel good, but then I can also post it for the world to see. It can bring inspiration for others. The tutorial itself can help other people who may have had the palette and don't know what to do with it. They may have those brushes and not know how to use them, or they may see me use a certain technique and go, wait, that may help me out, because I was texting someone, let me see. We were in our comment section. She left me something the other day letting me know about, her name was Laura Keller. Oh, I'm liking that, Laura Keller, because I'm using a blush from Laura Geller, so I'm liking how her name is similar. And she let me know how she tried the glitter glue technique, and she was saying she liked how it worked surprisingly well. For me, that's just a part of my normal everyday routine. It was nothing shocking to me, but to know what was basic to me was now a life-changing tip for somebody else. It's like, this is why we do it, Torrence. You can always just do your makeup, sit on the porch, and as people go past, they can see it's cute. If all you wanted was compliments, you already had that from the world. But to know that I can help others, I can reach out to others, and I don't have to feel alone with this, because there are people who reach out to me and let me know, well, I don't deal with ankle issues, but I've had back issues and I had, a surgery with this, because that's the number one thing I do think I've received. Once I let it be known that I may have to get an ankle fusion, a lot of people who've had back fusions have reached out to me and let me know how that surgery went. And it just feels good to know that I'm not by myself. and it looks like this camera is about to cut off in a few seconds. I got less than a minute left and I haven't been doing nothing but blabbing. And somebody literally just called me. Oh, my friend from cowork, she's the next shift team leader. I'm team leader for shift 1. She's team leader for shift 3. So she's not the next one. She's usually there before me. So with this video getting ready to cut off, I'm about to go ahead and call my homegirl Lakeisha back to make sure I know what she's doing. I truly don't know if this video is just going to be a bunch of talking and me saying nothing. But as you all can see, I'm nervous, I'm scared, I'm blabbling. But we're going to have to do a part 2 to this. And I don't want this video to cut off without me doing a proper exit. So with nothing else, I hope you all remember to practice, continue to stay blessed, stay prayed up, wish the best for me, and until next time, goodbye YouTube.